Chicago White Sox are rising in the standings. There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle that's making this work, and today we're going to talk about one and a potential Cy Young candidate.
You play ball like a girl!
Yeah, this is baseball. You gotta stop thinking.
What up, Base Boos? It is Ghosty here. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you give a little like, little thumbs up, perhaps maybe just to subscribe as well. We do all kinds of baseball on here, talk about all sorts of stories, and as well as we integrated the Women's Professional Baseball League, in which, if you search my playlist, you'll be able to find we're starting to go over the rosters. This is Ghost with Baseboo, and we're going to be talking about the Chicago White Sox today. Chicago, we've seen them go through a couple rebuilds now. They're currently going through a rebuild. However, this year, they've changed quite a bit. They're still hovering around 500, but they're in second place, and the team is rising in the standings. And now's a good time to talk about the puzzle pieces that have been put together for this team. We're going to talk about one, which is a potential Cy Young candidate, and his name is Davis Martin. When Garrett Crochet left, didn't look like much on the White Sox starting rotation was going to happen, except for fillers. Davis Martin, he's nearing 30 years old, so this is a late breakout for him as a pitcher. But there are talks, especially here, that he could be a Cy Young candidate this season for the AL, especially with Tarik Skubal being out of the mix, Garrett Crochet currently being out of the mix as they are on the IL. Davis Martin, it's time to start talking about him. So far this season for Chicago, Martin has a 6-1 record and a 3.1 WAR. 56 innings pitched, he has 59 Ks, and this one is outstanding. His whip is currently sitting underneath a 1. Everything is working well for him this season. Last season with Chicago, he was 7-10. ERA hovered around 4, I think it was about 4.10. 142 innings, he had 104 strikeouts, but a whip of a nearly 1.3. For this season, I know it's still too early to talk about a potential Cy Young, but he's definitely heading towards that direction. And if someone should stand out further than him, he should definitely get an all-star nod for the Chicago White Sox. At the time of this recording, this is where he stands. Again, a 6-1 record, which is tied first for most in the AL, third with his ERA of a 1.61, third in the AL for a .98 whip. Ks, he's tied at 11th. Again, he's got 56 innings pitched, but quality starts, which is crucial, he's tied at 1. Martin is a homegrown talent for the Chicago White Sox when he was drafted in 2018. He wasn't this big eye-catching prospect when drafted because he was drafted in the 14th round. Mostly works with 6 different pitches, so he's got quite the arsenal. In all of those pitches, he uses over 11% of the time. His pitch mix includes a four-seam fastball that can sit around 94 miles an hour, so his fastball is powering, but not overpowering. He's got his changeup, slider, sinker, and as well as a cutter. And add for the 6, a curveball. What's great about having this type of arsenal is it really keeps the hitters guessing, off balance, which has amounted into his production this season the way he's going. But one of the biggest questions about him, are we due for some regression? StatCast definitely says so. He does get hit hard. One of the other tall tale signs is his current ERA and xERA. There is a massive gap between the two. We've seen times, though, that even though StatCast, Fangraphs, they project certain values on players, and they end up outperforming them. Not saying at this time that he is going to regress, but it's something on our mind, and we definitely got to think about when it comes to the Cy Young candidate. This could be a big breakout season for him, and then he could just go back to being a very useful number 3 or number 4 pitcher next season. So aside of having one hell of an arsenal, what has made him stand out this season the way he's performing? Coming into this season, much of his success, not only because of his arsenal, but he lowered his release point and as well his arm slot. Last year, well, on average, he was about 5.9, but this year he's at a 5.7. With that lower release point, it really fools off the hitters because he's got that 6-pitch mix that we were talking about, and his release point looks almost exactly the same for all of his pitchers. So when you're a hitter facing that, it leaves you question what is coming. Unless if he was tipping his pitches, but that don't seem to be the issue so far. He also fine-tuned his arsenal for when facing lefties. He has been dominant this season. He's added a true sinker. He's using his changeup a lot less, and his new cutter is definitely throwing off the left-handed batters. But again, with Garrett Crochet being out, Tarek Skubal, both on the IL, this opens up a whole group of other players that are in talks for the Cy Young Award as well, that are standing out this season. Toronto's Dylan Cease is just one of them. Cam Schittler of the New York Yankees. Did I say Schittler? I meant Schittler. Schittler. However we pronounce it. Sorry, Yankees. Angels, Jose Soriano is also in the mix. So you get the gist. He's in some great competition. But Martin, can he keep this up this upcoming season? That seems to be the big question. We saw a turnaround in his performance last season. 2023, he did suffer Tommy John, so the bounce back hasn't been too bad. His adjustments, as we talked about, have been for the positive this season. But the regression data from StatCast, it's legit, it's there, and it's something to think about. But as of right now, being on the Chicago White Sox, he's being a standout pitcher. So let me know in the comments below. Mr. Martin, could you see him running as a potential Cy Young candidate? If not, do you see him running on this course all season long? Well, we're only in May, and that's still yet to be told. This is Ghost with Base Boo. Have a great day, everybody.